Did you know that 38% of black travelers have reported feeling unsafe or discriminated against while traveling abroad? That's according to a 2020 study by MMGY Global's The Black Traveler, Insights, Opportunities, and Priorities report. If you're in that 38%, drop me a comment about where you've traveled to and what your experience was like. In today's video, we're diving deep into a list of the top 10 safest countries for black travelers. Places where culture, community, and security converge to create a truly welcoming experience. Whether you're planning your next adventure or dreaming of new horizons, stay tuned as we break down why these destinations stand out in safety, inclusivity, and rich local heritage. Hi, my name is Jared and welcome to Black Excellence, where we celebrate all the ways black people pursue excellence in their everyday lives. If you're searching for ways to fuel your own journey of excellence with content on where to live, where to travel, lifestyle trends, and unconventional ways to do it all, hit that subscribe button and join the circle of excellence. We put this list together after researching what black travelers have said online about their experiences and other statistics like the Global Peace Index, also known as the GPI. This evaluates peace using 23 indicators across 3 main domains: ongoing domestic and internal conflict, social safety and security, and militarization. I've personally been to one of these countries and I'll share my experience there too. If you're dying to get to this list, so am I. But I have to address one thing first. There are no African countries on this list, and that is because of many factors. One of them being that no African country ranks very high on the Global Peace Index. That can be due to violent crime or political instability. Another reason why there are no African countries on this list is due to the experience of many black travelers we have read about. The reviews on even the more popular countries like Ghana, South Africa, Egypt, and Morocco are extremely mixed. Although there is an immense amount of belonging and joy a lot of African American travelers report when traveling through Africa, other travelers also complain about the petty theft and being hustled. So if the list was about the best destinations or the most culturally fulfilling or unique or other qualifying factors, there would be plenty of African countries on this list. I should add here that the US ranks 128 out of 163 countries on the Global Peace Index, and there are plenty of African countries that rank way higher than the US, meaning they're more peaceful. But this list is about the most peaceful countries in the world, so neither the US or the African countries that rank higher than the US would make this list. Now, on to our list, starting with Iceland. Iceland consistently holds the title of the most peaceful country in the world, according to the Global Peace Index, also known again as the GPI. With a 2024 score of 1.112, that's on a scale of 1.000 to 5.000, with the lower end being the most peaceful. A score of 1.112 means Iceland is extremely peaceful. Violent crime is virtually non-existent. Police officers typically don't carry guns, and public trust in law enforcement is at an all-time high. And what truly sets Iceland apart is the ease at which black travelers feel at home. Travelers frequently mention that they felt safer walking alone at night in Reykjavik than they do in some US suburbs. The society is small, trusting, and largely inclusive. While the black population, of course, is minimal, the estimation is less than 1% of Iceland's population is black, the Icelandic people's curiosity often turns into warm, welcoming exchanges rather than suspicion or exclusion. At least that's what most black travelers have said online. And I didn't even get to how beautiful this country is. It's often said that Iceland is like one huge national park. Next up, we have Japan. Japan ranked 9th on the GPI. It has an impressively low violent crime rate of around 0.39 incidences per 1,000 people. The country is famous for its safety, from impeccably clean streets to an unmatched culture of honesty. Leave a phone in a cafe and there's a good chance it will be returned untouched. But safety here is more than statistical. Black travelers, including myself, describe Japan as a place of deep respect. While there can be moments of cultural curiosity, especially in rural areas, they often stem from genuine interest and not malice. A black American woman living in Tokyo shared that she often walks home late at night and feels completely safe, a sentiment echoed across countless vlogs and blogs. And in case you haven't guessed it, this is the country that I have actually been to myself, and I can attest to all of this. Going to Japan is one of the most cultural eye-opening experiences of my life that I will never forget. Yeah, at first you feel a little awkward because you're like one of the only black people surrounded by so many Japanese, but it's crazy. After a while, you almost don't even feel like a fish out of water. I expected people to be staring at me. You hear rumors about a black person sitting next to a Japanese person and a Japanese person getting up and walking away. That didn't happen at all. Every single person, and I went to 3 separate cities in completely 3 different areas, and everybody was kind. I walked at night in all 3 of these cities, and I saw women walking alone, and it didn't seem like anybody felt like they were in danger. I will say tourists are starting to push their luck, so I'm sure Japanese are gonna start pushing back against that. As of now, this has been one of the best experiences of my life. I think as a world, we should all come together and say we're not gonna put any tariffs on this country. We're not ever gonna go to war with this country again, unless they decide to attack, which I don't see that happening again, because this is probably one of the greatest countries on earth. I just have to say it. Honestly, it has to be one of the top ranking countries in the world. From the way that they do everything, they're just a level above the rest of the world. I'm pretty sure. I love this country. I recommend everybody goes. And number 3, we have Canada. Oh, Canada, our nice cousin up north that we have recently treated like garbage. Anyway, Canada ranks around 11th on the GPI. Its cities like Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver offer vibrant, multicultural environments where black travelers often feel right at home. Canada surprisingly has a good amount of diversity in its large cities. The country's multiculturalism policy, paired with visible African and Caribbean communities, means you'll find everything from black-owned bookstores to Afro-Caribbean food festivals. While occasional microaggressions exist, they are notably rare, especially compared to the US. For many African Americans, Canada feels like the US with the volume turned down. And compared to a lot of our large cities, like turned probably all the way down, like to 0. Familiar, but less froth. Plus it's close, with plenty of cheap flights, and you don't have to worry about learning too much about the culture before traveling there. You know, it's the same but different. At number 4, we have New Zealand. With a GPI score of 1.323 and ranking 4th globally, New Zealand shines as a bastion of peace. Its violent crime rates are low, and the community offers strong protections for minority rights. What's particularly appealing for black travelers is the country's communal spirit and emphasis on equality. Families from the US often rave about how comfortable they felt letting their kids roam around beaches or explore city centers without any worry. That's another thing about Japan too. You can tell how safe it is because you're watching all these little kids cross streets and go home by themselves, and I swear they must be like 4 or 5. Though the black population is small, travelers report few, if any, racially charged experiences. New Zealanders are just laid back, and that ease extends to how they treat guests of all backgrounds. At number 5, we have the next place I swear that I'm going to is Portugal. Portugal ranks 7th on the GPI with a 2024 score of 1.372, which makes it both peaceful and increasingly progressive. Violent crime is minimal, especially in urban centers like Lisbon and Porto. But what makes Portugal stand out for African Americans is its embrace of Afro-Portuguese culture. Lisbon has a growing number of black-owned businesses, and the influence of Cape Verdean, Angolan, and Brazilian communities is deeply felt. Music, art, and food all reflect this mix. Travelers say they felt more celebrated than scrutinized, a refreshing departure from the norm. And I can't tell you how many times Portugal comes up when we talk about black travel, because there's a strong black expat community there, especially in Lisbon. I'm serious, I cannot wait to visit this place myself. I'm actually considering, with everything going on, that I might want to move there one day. At number 6, we have Switzerland. Switzerland ranks 6th on the GPI and is renowned for its social stability and transparency. Violent crime is extremely rare, and the country offers clean, orderly cities where rules are followed and respect is mutual. For black travelers, Switzerland offers an experience that is both tranquil and empowering. While the diversity in smaller towns may be limited, major cities like Zurich and Geneva provide multicultural environments where travelers feel more included. And though Switzerland is expensive, many agree that the peace of mind it offers is well worth the price. At number 7, we have Norway. With a GPI score of 1.382, Norway ranks in the global top 10 for safety. The country's violent crime rate is among the lowest in Europe. less than 1 homicide per 100,000 residents annually. Oslo and Bergen, in particular, have growing communities of African and Caribbean descent. Public infrastructure is strong and the culture leans heavily towards everybody being treated fairly. Travelers often remark on the genuine kindness of Norwegians and how nonchalantly they treat their differences. Norway may be chilly in climate, but it's warm in spirit. Aww. At number 8, we have Singapore. Singapore is a marvel of urban safety and efficiency. Ranked 5th on the GPI, it boasts one of the lowest crime rates in the world. For Black travelers, Singapore is a lesson in order and multiculturalism. With English as an official language and a blend of Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Western cultures, it's a city-state built on efficiency and cleanliness. The rules can be strict, but they create a culture of mutual respect. Travelers frequently note how safe they feel navigating the city alone, day or night. I think for most of us that were born and raised in the US, we think America is the most advanced country in the world and the best at everything. Then I talk to people that travel to places like Singapore and Dubai, and they come back and look at America like we live in the 20th century and talk about how dirty and unsafe our cities are for being the biggest economy in the world. From personal experience, when you travel, you look at America differently, the good and the bad. There are also times when people come back here and miss a lot of things about the US. What did I miss the most when I left? What I miss most after coming back from Japan or some of the other countries is the feeling of living in a melting pot. Like going and getting tacos, then Korean barbecue, then getting sushi, then getting, like, it's all on the same street sometimes, at least living in California. I haven't been to Portugal yet. I heard that's a melting pot, and I'm sure Europe, Canada is a little bit of a melting pot, but I don't think anywhere for the time being until Trump gets rid of everybody is a melting pot like the US. The United States will always be home. At number 9, we have another place I need to get to because I've heard so many good things, is Costa Rica. Costa Rica is often highlighted as a safe and welcoming destination for Black travelers, and there are several reasons why this is the case. It's a country that generally prides itself on its peaceful nature, democratic traditions, and emphasis on pura vida, also known as pure life. This term encapsulates a laid-back, optimistic, and welcoming approach to life. A substantial portion of Costa Rica's population, particularly on the Caribbean coast, is Afro-Caribbean descent. Many are descendants of Jamaican immigrants who came to work on the railroad and banana plantations in the late 19th and early 20th century. Costa Rica actually abolished its army in 1949, investing resources instead in education, healthcare, and social programs. This has contributed to a remarkably peaceful and stable society, a rarity in the region. Many Black travelers report a generally positive experience with little to no overt racism or discrimination compared to some other parts of the world. Costa Rica's GPI is 1.8, making it a solidly peaceful destination, ranking number 1 in its region and among the top 60 globally. And at number 10, a country that I would have never thought of is Ireland. Ireland ranks 3rd on the GPI, with a peaceful society and low violent crime. It's also one of the most rapidly diversifying countries in Western Europe. Black travelers often describe Ireland as a place they least expect to feel so welcome, and yet they did. Whether it's the friendly locals, the emerging African communities in Dublin and Galway, or the warm pub culture, Ireland opens its arms wide. It's not unusual for a solo Black traveler to be invited into a conversation, a home, or a celebration. Now listen, traveling while Black comes with its own unique set of considerations. But these 10 countries offer more than just low crime stats. They provide peace of mind, cultural respect, and even joy. From Iceland's serene landscapes to Singapore's seamless urban design, each destination offers a different kind of welcome. And for African American travelers, that kind of welcome is priceless. So as Black people, don't be afraid to get out there. From the countries I've been to, even some of the ones that aren't on this list, I've been treated with respect. I've loved every minute of it, and I encourage you all to get out there. Anyway, that's it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.